It is with profound sadness that in time must inform you that Queen Elizabeth II, Queen of England, has died. This makes now Charles officially king. He has assumed the throne immediately. England now has a king, and their longest ruling monarch has passed away. She was 96 years old and served, she started in 1954, I believe it was, having served really since just about the end of World War II. She was actually not, nobody had ever anticipated that she would serve as queen. Her father was never supposed to be king, but became king when his eldest brother, amid scandal, abdicated the throne, making her father king and then setting her up to be next in line. The monarchy has, as everybody knows, endured a great many scandals. Princess Diana was one of the more public and semi-recent ones. Also, the behavior of some of her sons and the reports of the treatment of Merkel, the so-called common wife, and Meghan Merkel, and her allegations of abuse at the hands of the royal family. All that notwithstanding, she was a beloved leader and well-respected really across the world. They just implemented, now she has lived through 16 U.S. presidencies and a large number of prime ministers. They just put a, stand by one. They just, on the 6th, they, it was 14 U.S. presidents and 15 prime ministers, and having just sworn in a new prime minister on September 6th. So she had been sick, and I think they accelerated the swearing in of the prime minister in order to ensure that she could do it. Nonetheless, she has now passed away, and Prince Charles is now King Charles. This is a picture of her. I don't know. This is either at her coronation or shortly thereafter. This would be in, I guess, about 54. So Queen Elizabeth II, born 1926, has died at the age of 96. This makes Prince Charles king, and what I'm going to do is we're still getting information. She had been sick, but nonetheless, we had just the possibility was there, but I don't know. I think it's a little bit of a shock. People are gathering now outside of London's Buckingham Palace. She was in their estate in Scotland when she died. And what I want to do now is, I do want to check on the stream here. All right, thank you for the correction. I do apologize. Americans have an interesting relationship with it, although my understanding is the British have an interesting relationship with the monarchy as well. On some level, Americans don't really understand it, and it makes very little sense to Americans. The founding of our country, as is well understood, was a rebellion against that very system, and we took no small measure of pride in not having royalty or royal, you can't be knighted in the U.S. That title does not exist. But having said that, I think a number of Americans still found the royal family fascinating, and found the system fascinating, and I think also had at least a respect for the people holding that office and what appears to me to be their love of their country. So, yeah, we do. Yeah. So let me. I'm gonna catch up in the live chat here. Yeah. Oh, 1953, 1952 or 1953, depending on if you count the from the coronation or from. Okay, perfect. Well, and that's another relevant matter. As an American, we don't understand this. It's like, is Charles now king, or does he? Is there a swearing-in ceremony, or is there no? Charles is, to the best of my ability to understand, Charles is now king. He became king as soon as she died. So I assume there is going to be a ceremony of some kind. But as of this moment, Charles is now King Charles. And all right, hold on, stand by. Yeah. All right. So that's what we have. I'm sorry that we don't have a whole heck of a lot more. This is obviously still brand new. AP has it. A few other sources have it, but it's still filtering out. Again, she was the longest serving monarch and was born and, of course, lived through World War II and seemed to feel a deep desire to help the country recover. Again, nobody had actually expected that she would ever rule England. Her father was not supposed to be king, but became king when his elder brother abdicated the throne. His elder brother and his family would have passed down through his elder brother's family, but once he abdicated, the younger brother was next in line, and that was Queen Elizabeth's father. So, yeah. Again, apologies for the we're still trying to yeah, we do know that they actually it was leaked I think a few days ago, Project Unicorn or Operation Unicorn, I think it was, which was the plans for what to do if she died while in Scotland, when they would start the ceremony, when they would, transport the body, and any number of things. So it's clear that they had some indication that this was going to happen. She had COVID earlier this year and actually seemed to she for somebody of her age seemed to handle it reasonably well, but and I guess obviously would like to know if the COVID had anything to do with it, because it was not that long ago that she was diagnosed with COVID, and there was speculation she would not survive it. She purportedly did survive it, assuming that this is not related to complications of COVID, but. I also know that she was to the best of my understanding, she was well respected even by people who did not like the monarchy and did not like the idea of the monarchy. I think a lot of people did not blame her for that. She did get blamed for, again, the treatment of Princess Diana and I think Meghan Markle, but that notwithstanding, she apparently had a lot of respect. With her gone, it's interesting to there's speculation as to what's going to happen to the monarchy. There's a reasonably large movement, has been for some time, saying that the monarchy should be abolished in England. King Charles, I don't see any reason to believe he's going to command the same respect that Queen Elizabeth II did. So, and she was having a hard time keeping the monarchy together. Obviously, her sons have had some different views about it and have moved well outside the established, for lack of a better word, protocol for the royal family, and that created a lot of tension. So I think it's going to be interesting to see where we are a few years from now. But that notwithstanding, again, Queen Elizabeth II, the longest serving or longest ruling monarch in the history of England, has died. She was 96 years old. Her Prince Charles, Prince Charles has now become king, and we are waiting for official word from Buckingham Palace. We do know that there is a large crowd out there. I think we're probably not going to wait for that. We did want to bring this to you as soon as we had it, but I think I'm going through the live chat, and I think she served in World War II as an ambulance driver. All right, I think I actually had heard that. So, yeah, she was. She was. Again, I think well respected, and her at her coronation, she had said that, if I recall, she had said something along the lines of, while she could not fight on the battlefield for England, they could expect that she would love the country and serve the country to the best of her ability to her dying day, and to the best of my knowledge, that's exactly what she did. So, Queen Elizabeth II has died today, just a few hours ago, at the age of 96, the longest serving monarch in England, and making now Prince Charles King of England. So, yep, that's all right. That's it. So we don't know. We're not going to. Presumably, Buckingham Palace is going to make a statement at some point. People are obviously expecting it, and as I said before, there's a crowd gathering outside of Buckingham Palace. We don't know when that statement's going to be. So right now, there's probably not a whole heck of a lot we can do staying on. So it's going to be a short show. We wanted to let our audience know, and if there's anything else that we feel you need to be notified about, we will. Of course, go live. I do also want to say we were actually already thinking of going live earlier today. Steve Bannon has been indicted on, I think, I forget all the charges. It was a very quick changeover from the show we had been planning on doing. So Steve Bannon has been indicted, and I think actually now that we're live, it's probably worth to cover one or two important details about that. So let me bring that up so we can cover it. So yeah, he's been indicted on money laundering and conspiracy charges. This is in relation to the border wall. So he had a fundraising effort to help build the wall, getting donations from people, essentially from all 50 states. Several hundred people from New York had donated to the effort to build the wall. He had been indicted criminally by the federal government. And it looked like he was going to be on the hook for some pretty serious federal charges until he was pardoned by Donald Trump. However, since there had been no trial, double jeopardy does not apply. Double jeopardy only applies when you're in jeopardy the first time and you have to actually have had the trial. The trial never happened. Ergo, since he was never tried for any of those crimes, he can be tried again. Well, for the first time, actually. So he can be charged again, is what I should say. So the state of New York has decided to sue on behalf of the several hundred New Yorkers that donated to him and that he, in their view, ripped off. So they are charging him with money laundering and conspiracy. He was there today as the indictment was unsealed, and it. Oh, apologies. There's a couple of different things going on here. So, all right. So yeah, it's. I guess they're saying. The charges that he laundered or defrauded donors of over $15 million, and since the presidential pardon does not apply, so, and this is the other thing. So yeah, this was the one I'd wanted to mention is, we were asked, well, gee, if he was pardoned, how can he be tried for it? The President of the United States is the chief law enforcement officer for the federal government, but has no say over anything that's a state jurisdictional matter. Because there were New Yorkers themselves who contributed to the wall, that means that the state of New York, representing its constituents and representing its citizens, can sue him for state crimes that cannot be pardoned by the executive, the chief executive of the United States. So while he was pardoned for the federal offense, he can still be tried at the state level. Now, this would ostensibly apply to other people. Having said that, and I've now spaced his name, Manafort. Now, Paul Manafort had also been pardoned, but Manafort was pardoned after being convicted in a federal court. And because of double jeopardy laws, you can't be tried for the same crime twice. So because he had already been convicted, that means, for the most part, states cannot sue Manafort because the federal government has already sued and won. So Manafort can't be tried again for those crimes. Once he was pardoned, that makes him basically untouchable. Steve Bannon is not untouchable because while he was pardoned before the trial, meaning double jeopardy doesn't apply. So if there is another interest or another entity that has jurisdiction, in this case it would be New York over the New York citizens who have been defrauded, then New York can sue, and that is what is happening. He is facing 15 years for the highest count. It would be nice to start to see some accountability for the Trump inner circle, so we're going to be keeping an eye on that. In the meantime, our main story today, Queen Elizabeth II, the longest-serving monarch in England, has died. Prince Charles has now become King Charles, and we are expecting Buckingham Palace, to release a statement. We don't know when. We're expecting it in the next hour or two. I don't think we're going to stay on live waiting for it. But Queen Elizabeth, at the age of 96, Queen Elizabeth II has passed. And again, incidentally, since we were live anyway, Steve Bannon was indicted earlier this morning in New York for money laundering and conspiracy in the border wall fundraising. He was pardoned from by Trump for anything relating to this, but that pardon does not apply in the state of New York against state charges. So Bannon will have to face these charges. The highest charge carries a maximum penalty of 15 years. So we will see. I'm going to make one more check on the live chat, and then I think... Yeah, it would be really nice. Bannon is one of the ones, but Manafort needs to get... There's a lot of people who need to be arrested and thrown in jail. Trump, perhaps most among them. Yeah. Yep. All right. So thank you all for joining us. We have our regularly scheduled downtime tonight at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, we will be having Commander McMillan on to... There's just too much going on. We'll be having Commander McMillan on, and that should be a... that should be a good show. I enjoy those conversations. I'm going to ask him about a couple of things. I think tonight we're going to talk about, he observed the sort of overall mood in this country and how it's changed. And I think we're also going to discuss Bannon, so I'm looking forward to that. And then 10 p.m. on Tuesday, September 13th, we're going to have Jenna on to discuss mental health. And it's going to be another downtime. So it's going to be a downtime at a special time with Jenna, who is in the live chat. So, big shout out to her for being here. And we look forward to having her on and having that conversation. I think it's going to be a good conversation. So thank you all for joining us, and we will see you tonight, 9:30, for Downtime with Commander McMillan.